Hi, Rob from Shape Your Future Online, and welcome to my new Shape Your Mindset series. So here I'm going to discuss how our mindset can really shape our future and fulfill our potential. So what I'm going to do over, I don't know how many videos, I've got 26 topics so far, and I'm sure these will just keep coming and keep rolling out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the serious mind shifts and paradigm shifts that I've gone through over the past year and that I will continue to go through. Since finishing in the corporate world and starting off as an online entrepreneur. I mean, in the last 6 months alone, I've spent several $1,000s on coaching myself. I've undergone coaching from a couple of different sources. And the mind shifts that I've gone through are incredible. So what I'm going to talk about in this series are, as I say, the shifts that I've gone through, the things that I've learned. And I'm not just going to teach them in a preachy kind of way, just regurgitating what I've learned. I'm gonna give you practical examples of the kind of stories that I've been telling myself all of my life, things that have happened for me in the past. That I've been projecting into the future to basically manifest the same kind of results that I always used to get, and how I've changed that all around to be starting to manifest a completely different life for myself. And I'm not talking about just online entrepreneurship here. I'm talking about the relationship that I have with money, with my wife, with my children, starting finally, to have with my health and getting myself healthier. Just amazing shifts, because I've found essentially that, the way that we do one thing is the way that we do everything. And in the past, I was doing pretty much everything wrong. I just want to show you how we can use these shifts to really change our lives and really fulfill our potential. So let's get going. So, first of all, just the kind of topics that I'm going to be going through this series of videos. So if I keep looking to the right-hand side, that's because I'm looking at my board and all the things that I've written down that I wanted to mention. I'm going to be discussing and uncovering things like the way that we use our language for good and bad. So that will involve things like neural linguistic programming. I'm going to be talking, about the importance of integrity, responsibility, and commitment. Commitment versus attachment, things like this. There's a lot of distinctions between different kinds of words that we can really have profound mind shifts on. I'm going to talk about there's a real distinction between a choice and a decision. We may think that they're the same thing, but there is a subtle nuance between the two. A choice being, something that we just do instantly from our gut, from our heart, versus decision, which is it's all based up here in the mind and all the past experiences that we've had. I'm going to talk about things like network of conversations, putting things out there to be accountable, your circle of influence, how that affects you, the people around you. Going to talk about resetting your financial thermostat. That's certainly something that I've done over the past sort of 10 to 12 months or so. I'm going to talk about playing it small. Hey, I think most of us are guilty of that. Certainly me, I'll put my hand up right there. And in fact, I'm going to put my hand up to all of these, because these are all things that, I'm having shifts with, but still have battles with at times as well. The stories that we tell ourselves, quite often stories that we've told ourselves since we were 5 years old, that have completely shaped our lives, and actually usually tie into why we play so small. What else do we have? How we overwhelm ourselves. Notice that I don't say what is overwhelming us, because nothing overwhelms you. It's all to do with yourself. You overwhelm yourself. We're going to discuss things like that. Understanding different emotions and behaviors. How our emotions, these underlying emotions, can affect behaviors. What else have we got? Procrastination. Well, that's a big one, isn't it? often coming from, again, stories that we've told ourselves in the past, quite often fears, fear of failure, things like that. Playing it small again, all that sort of stuff. What else? A very good distinction between sharing and complaining, something that I've picked up on recently, certainly with my own battles with drug and alcohol addiction, and showing that the difference between sharing and complaining, I think there's a very big difference with the people who are making it in recovery and the people that keep going back to what's the word? I nearly said rehab. They probably are going back to rehab, but back into relapse, should I say. Because they're just complaining. They're not just sharing, they're not letting it go. And this can be the same with a lot of procrastination issues as well. And, not being successful in business or in your work or in your relationship or whatever it is, because you're in a cycle of complaining. You're not just letting things go. Going to talk about productivity, really making sure that you're getting things done consistently, consistent action, massive imperfect action. That's something that I'll talk about as well. I'm really keen on that topic of just getting on with things. It doesn't matter if it's good, if it's bad. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to learn along the way. Self-expression. I mean, that's a good one. Go back 18 months, I wasn't doing much self-expression. I was sat in this actual very room drinking and snorting cocaine while my family were upstairs. Complete lack of confidence, direction in life, and just no self-expression at all. I guess out of that, comes things like authenticity, honesty. These are things that have really started to come out for me. I'm going to talk about the importance of those as well. And importance for you, going forward in your life, whatever it is, we've just got to get honest and authentic and get rid of these masks that we wear in different situations. Open-mindedness, yes, that's a good one. I would say even radical open-mindedness. Again, I was someone that was just living in this shitty world of this is just the way things are. No, that's a load of bullshit. That's a load of crap. I'm not listening to that. I'm not listening to this. That's rubbish. That's woo-woo. Radical open-mindedness I think is very important. Can open up so many things and opportunities in your life. As great mentors of mine say, try a jacket on. If it fits, keep it on. Use that. If it doesn't, take it off. Try another one on. Try lots of different things. Be open-minded, and the possibilities and opportunities for you in life just completely open up. I think I'm getting to the end of this list now. It's all self-limitations and self-limiting beliefs and things like this. Again, a lot of these topics kind of flow into each other, don't they? So this will flow into things like procrastination and playing small and things like that. We're going to have a lot of fun with these topics. Overcoming fear, yes. What do they say? On the other side of your greatest fear is the greatest life imaginable. And I'll give you some few examples on that. That's absolutely true. All of these topics, by the way, as I said, this isn't going to be me spouting out stuff that I've just learnt. Again, it's not content that I've made up in terms of the tools and the tricks that I've learnt, but it's going to be my experience, my mind shifts, my paradigm shifts, and my way of thinking, putting my own spin on things that have been taught for forever, probably since the beginning of time. For some of these things have passed on, aren't they? Fear of success, I think I mentioned that sort of earlier. That's a big fear, and quite often that's linked to people's attitudes to money. And certainly I've gone through that as well. But there's certain books and techniques that I've gone through to really overcome that and stop seeing money as being a bad thing. Money is something, when people have a lot of money, there's something wrong with them, there's something greedy about them, there's something bad about them. Money is just it's a tool to allow us to do the things that we want to do. So, they're the kind of topics that I'm going to be talking about. So, if you are interested in following, then yeah, please subscribe or like below. But we're not finished yet. Check out the next section. So just to wrap up this short first introductory video to the series, just wanted to go through a few pitfalls that you can come across when you're, you're going into some coaching, you're looking for some kind of transformative results. So whether that is mindset, your mindset through coaching, whether that's, a new business venture or a new relationship or something new that you want to change in your life. There's always some pitfalls that we can kind of come across. So the first one is really kind of setting expectations. And to be careful about, what does that really mean? I mean, expectations, what I'm talking about here is really being attached to some kind of result. So whether that's making a certain amount of money or doing something within a certain amount of time, losing weight in a certain amount of time, whatever it is. I'm not saying here that, we don't want goals. Absolutely, we want goals. But what I'm talking about is an expected, an attachment to a certain result. Because what can happen then is we can start blaming other things external to ourselves, and we're not really kind of accountable for it. And if we don't reach that goal, we're complacent, or if we see we're not anywhere near that goal, a certain way through a process, we might give up. What happens if we can be committed to a result rather than attached or expecting it to happen? That kind of language, that's completely different, isn't it? If you're committed to something, if you commit to reaching a certain result and you do whatever you have to do within your power to reach that, that's a much better way of looking at things. And I'll go into that in more detail in another video. So the next thing would be use of the words, things like should and could. I mean, I guess this comes into, setting, expectations and attachments, and words like, this should happen, or it should have happened, or this could or could have happened. We're talking future and past tenses here. These words just don't serve you at all. And again, these are assigning blame of something external to you. Well, this person should have done that. This could have been a different way. And where's the personal responsibility in that? You're completely negating any personal responsibility when you use words like should and could. Words like should as well. It's almost like you're objectifying something as well. Objectifying a conversation. Well, it's just words which will come, they'll go, they flow away. There's nothing here. There's no barrier. The barrier is you. Yeah, your ego and you. That's your barrier. Another thing would be, I've not got time to do this. I don't have the time. Well, you don't have time. You don't own it, whether it exists or not. That's another conversation, isn't it? But yeah, you don't have time. You don't own it. You can make time. Okay, some of us might be able to make a bit more time than others, but you make it. You make whatever you've got. You make it work. You fit things around, rearrange things if you've got to get something done. If you want to achieve something, weight loss, online business, new relationship, whatever it is, make time. Simple as that. Again, comes back to personal responsibility. Move things around. Get things done. The last thing really I want to talk about is, and a big one for me in the past as well, when I've been trying to transform myself and do things, is be careful not to compare yourself to other people. I've struggled with this both in, actually more than two things. I'll give you a couple of examples. One would be in my fairly new online business that I'm getting up and running. So I've looked at other people in the community that I work with and, looked at people and where they are in their journey after a certain amount of time and thought, well, why am I not there? Why have I not attained what they've attained? And most of it's all about money as well, which really it shouldn't be. the other one was, I can remember very early in my recovery from drug and alcohol addiction, there was a woman who she doesn't go anymore, she goes to other groups, but she used to come to a recovery group that I'm involved with, and she was just doing so well, you know, and really, really doing well in her recovery, and she was getting really, really fit, and just really getting on with her life. While it was taking me a long time, and I was struggling, and I didn't know what I was doing, and all this kind of thing. I just remember thinking, why can't I be more like that? But that kind of thought just doesn't serve you. You know, you are where you're at the moment. And to be honest with you, you know, when you look at these people who are crushing it, whether it's in business, whether it's in recovery, or whatever it is in life, maybe someone's having a fantastic relationship and you don't think yours is going as well, or whatever it is, well, guess what? I'm guessing that they are committed to getting that kind of result. So all these things that I'm talking about, they all tie together. So, you know, if you want these things, you better be prepared to put in the work. But don't compare yourself to other people. You are where you are, and you're going to get where you want to be by understanding what it takes to get there. And that's what hopefully I'm going to be talking about and presenting to you in this video series, which I'm going to post on, I think, Thursdays, which is today, and Sundays as well. So 2 a week. So yeah, I just thought of a few pitfalls there that, you know, you can fall into. Just very simple things that, you know, can be very quickly, we can think, oh, okay, I'm doing this, right, okay, I need to pull out of that and concentrate on what I'm doing. And these are just very, very minor, easy things that we can pull ourselves back into, the here, the now, to be present, and then to really go on and tackle these much bigger subjects that I'm going to talk about throughout the weeks. So, yep, if you like what you're seeing, if you want to follow me, please subscribe below, like, send me a comment, good or bad, you like it, say what you like. If you don't like it, say what you don't like. I don't care. Quite happy to get all kinds of feedback. So I shall see you in the next video. Bye now. Take it easy.